Do you remember me now?
Hey everybody, it's your boy Jay Rich. You know me, Spider-Man all day. I'm here with
Kathia Woods.
And we're talking about Monkeyman. That was directed by Dev Patel, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think he wrote it too, because it says story by.
He wrote it, he directed it, and he produced it.
Yeah, so I guess the best way to describe it is it's a revenge film.
Yeah.
You know, it's definitely a revenge film with the same energy, I think, of like John Wick.
Yes.
Because they even made a little joke in there, like
yes,
a little quick
absolutely.
joke. You know? But the way if I had to describe it to anybody, I think I would say it's like John Wick with like spirituality in it. And like also like current issues, like current event issues and like societal issues kind of like laced in there without being like pandering and like,
people
you know,
scamming and grifting and pretending to be spiritual leaders, but they're really scamming and grifting, and that's what the villain was like in this. And if you like RRR, like the action, that type of thing, it's not quite as intense as that, but
it's up there.
Yeah, it's up there. And it's also, I think what we're seeing, which I like, is we're seeing great movies out of different parts of the world and different cultures. Like, you know, we're getting the Nollywood, and this is kind of like the Bollywood, but with action, and it leans into this culture because the cast is predominantly, I would say, of Indian or Pakistani descent.
Yeah.
Very few Caucasians in this.
Yeah. And, what's his name was in it? From District 9. I never remember his name. Oh, my goodness. What's his name? Like Shanto Copley or something like that? Yeah. And he was like a nice little surprise. He didn't have like a major role. He was just like the driving point for like a certain scene, for certain scenes and stuff like that. But I felt in the beginning though that it was trying to tell multiple stories but didn't really feel together. And not until, like, the third act and the big, you know, typical hero journey, like the fall to the rise, that's when everything started to really fall together and feel like it made more sense.
Well, it's definitely one of those things where the beginning was a little bit slow, but when it picked up, when it went to full drive, it went to full drive.
Oh, yeah. The action was amazing. Like, it was definitely up there with John Wick, where it had those scenes where you'd be like, ooh, like you would hear the crowd even was like, like, oh, ooh, that was a bad one.
Yeah, and it's not, I mean, I think the gore is not just for anything, but it makes sense and it looks good and it's part of the action. Like, you can't have that many fights and not have some blood.
Right. And one of the things that I like that I've seen in a lot of newer action films and even shows like with like Daredevil on Netflix and like even with the John Wick series is you see the hero, like he's not getting, you know, he's not flying through as an invincible, you know, superhero. He's taking some hits. Like he's taking them hits. But one of the things I thought that was really cool was they kind of put like the tail of Hanuman, like the monkey, like entity, monkey god.
Yeah.
And like you saw different characters, like the lion and the snake and like all the like. It's
like, you know, if you think of like, I guess a fable, a mythical fable, and except he took on the persona of the person, the main character in the fable, the stories that his mother told him.
Yeah.
And he embodied all of that. And, you know, in order to become his truthful self, he had to fulfill the spiritual journey, so to say, so he could go out there and kick butt and take some. Let's talk about how good he looked. I felt like the fighting fit his physique and his style. He wasn't trying to overpower.
Yeah. He wasn't like super strong or anything like that, but he became like skilled,
and strategic,
right? And in the beginning of the movie, you learn that he is a fighter, but you see him training later on, like, you know, to what I call the hero's journey.
You had to learn, you had to learn how to not be so emotional and think more with his head, and at the same time, like kind of like find a rhythm to his fighting. And
they actually did that though. They
exactly,
did that in there, and I like that they used the culture as like the driving force of the tale. And they even brought in like political issues and like
of that region, and it made sense, right?
And like even in the stuff like transgender like issues and
all
stuff
of
like
that.
But it wasn't pandering.
It wasn't what the people like to call woke, and also it's more receptive because he's of that descent. It wasn't like some, white guy.
Savior. It wasn't the white savior.
Hey, it would be cool if you put all these people of Indian and Pakistani descent and we put them in the movie and we get Dev Patel to star in it so it looks like it's his idea. No, this was his idea, his concept. And again, shout out to Jordan Peele, he was
one of the producers on it.
Who's putting, his money where his mouth is, and putting people on and using his real estate. Like, listen, Hollywood still got to do better, but if we have a little bit of real estate, why not put each other on? And I think that's he was like, I'm the producer, I'm going to let you do what you want to do. And I'm here if you need more money or people give you a hard time.
And he used his clout to
exactly.
Get it out there. And that's something I wish we saw more of in entertainment industry.
Period.
And it doesn't have to be because a person's of color. I'm just talking about in general where it's not like there's only one pot of gold. You know what I mean? Like, everybody can, help somebody out. Because, you know what? Your name's not going to be on that, and that's going to blow up. And then, you kind of help each other out. So we all have that, generational type of wealth and success.
Absolutely. Do you feel like, because he's the name in the movie, right? But I don't think it took away that we didn't know who some of these other actors, which are probably bigger in their home country,
right,
in their home region. But I didn't feel like, this would have been better served if you had so-and-so.
The casting was perfect. Everything about the casting was awesome. And I like that the hero he had to go through, in a sense, therapy to find himself, to give himself more of a reason.
Yeah, and also to give himself permission a little bit to heal and not to feel guilt, because he was carrying a lot of guilt.
Right?
Like
throughout I'd say the first and second act, it was just like, this is my guilt. And then around the end of the second act was him him discovering himself and I guess forgiving himself.
Oh, for sure. And I think you have to do that. But this is for all the people that are tired of Fast and Furious 1000, as I like to call it, and they want to see action, but they want to see some new names, a different type of mix. This is your movie.
And action with a purpose.
Yeah, where you're not where you're just like, well, wait a minute. So why are we kicking his butt? Why are we mad? Oh, we just running after this person. We're just blowing stuff up or going into space. And you go, well, what happened here?
Right.
We started out with cars and now we
in
do
space. But one of the things I really enjoy again was the theme of it. Like, it didn't feel like this was just your typical Hollywood movie. It had culture. And
authentic culture, where you're not like...
Yeah, it was authentic, too. Like, it didn't feel like, oh, let's just put this in here to put this in here. It felt like you were in this world. And then that's what I really loved. The scenery and
everything, the location, shout out to the location scout, because we don't give enough love to them people.
Yo, shout out to location scouts, for real.
Because we just think they'd be in the studio somewhere and being like, just throw them trees up and let's make this movie. But no, this really felt... The action sequence, even in the vehicles, I like the choices they made, because I thought they were going to go with the sports car and the one, okay, but they're like, oh, snap, okay, I get it, you know what I mean?
I really, the authenticity of this film really shines through, and it is definitely worth seeing. It is R-rated.
It's not for little kids.
It's not for little kids. Again, this is in the same energy and violence as a John Wick.
Yeah, your kids are going to be up for 4 days and 4 nights.
Yeah. This is, but it is
a good time.
It is a great film. I really enjoyed it. I came in with high expectations and I walked out very satisfied.
Yes, absolutely. I'm more of this, more original ideas. Let's bring some new people to the table. And, we can do action films with a story and some intelligence. It don't all got to be like paint by numbers.
Right. So it comes out this weekend.
Right, April 5th.
Yeah. So, get a chance, please go out, check it out. And, after you see it, come back and comment and let me know what you thought. All right. Where can they find you?
They can find me at KATHIA_WOODS on all platforms.
And, like, subscribe, all that cool stuff. And don't forget, help a brother out.